The Kansas City Chiefs have once again proven why they're the gold standard in the NFL, executing a 2025 NFL draft strategy that's equal parts calculated, bold, and forward-thinking. With 7 new players added to the roster, the Chiefs didn't just fill gaps, they laid the groundwork for sustained dominance. This draft wasn't about chasing headlines, it was about fortifying the trenches, sharpening the edges, and planning for a future beyond their legendary tight end, Travis Kelce. Here's a deep dive into the Chiefs' draft moves, their implications, and what it all means for Chiefs Kingdom. Draft Overview: Building from the inside out. The Chiefs approached the 2025 draft with a clear blueprint: strengthen both sides of the line, bolster the secondary, and add offensive firepower. Their 7 selections included offensive and defensive linemen. Prioritizing the trenches, the Chiefs shored up their lines to ensure Patrick Mahomes stays upright and the defense remains relentless. Cornerback, reinforcements in the secondary to maintain their opportunistic defensive identity. Wide receiver, a new weapon to diversify Mahomes' arsenal. Running back, added depth to an already dynamic backfield. This wasn't a draft of flashy picks, it was a grinded-out, win-in-the-margins approach. The Chiefs know championships are won in the trenches, and they doubled down on that philosophy. The tight end conundrum, a bold non-move. The most talked-about aspect of the Chiefs' draft? Their decision not to select a tight end. With Travis Kelce, a future Hall of Famer, nearing the twilight of his career, and his contract expiring after 2025, many expected the Chiefs to prioritize his successor. Instead, GM Brett Veach and head coach Andy Reid zigged when everyone expected a zag. No tight end was drafted, not in the early rounds, not as a late-round flyer. Nothing. This wasn't an oversight, it was a statement. The Chiefs are betting on their current roster and a post-draft signing to navigate the post-Kelce era. Here's why this move, or lack thereof, is so intriguing. Noah Gray, the heir apparent? Noah Gray, the Chiefs' 2021 fifth-round pick, has quietly been making a case to step into Kelce's massive shoes. In 2024, Gray delivered a career-best performance. 40 receptions on 49 targets, 81.6% catch rate. 437 yards. 5 touchdowns, outpacing Kelce's 3. Gray's reliability, crisp route running, and grown man blocking make him more than just a backup. His 80% plus catch rate is elite, offering Mahomes a security blanket on critical downs. Marinating in the Chiefs' culture and learning from Kelce, Gray is poised to take on a larger role. The front office's decision to bypass a tight end suggests confidence that Gray is ready for the spotlight. Jake Briningstool, the undrafted steal. While the Chiefs didn't draft a tight end, they didn't ignore the position entirely. Enter Jake Briningstool, a Clemson standout signed as an undrafted free agent. Projected as a 5th or 6th round pick, Briningstool was a coup for Veach, a classic case of the Chiefs front office pulling talent out of thin air. Briningstool's college tape shows a slippery, smart player with raw potential. He's not polished, but the Chiefs excel at turning potential into production. While not Kelce's direct replacement, Briningstool adds depth and could develop into a dangerous weapon in time. Jared Wiley, the sleeper. Don't sleep on Jared Wiley, a 2024 draft pick who's been grinding through recovery from injury. Reports from the Chiefs facility indicate Wiley is bigger, stronger, and hungrier than ever. A healthy Wiley could form a dynamic 2 tight end set with Gray, creating mismatches with their ability to block and catch. Wiley's chip-on-the-shoulder mentality makes him a wild card to watch in 2025. Why skip a tight end? Value and vision. The Chiefs' decision to bypass a tight end in the draft likely came down to value. If the right player isn't available at the right pick, reaching is a recipe for regret. Veach's track record shows a knack for staying disciplined, sticking to the draft board, and avoiding emotional picks. Instead of forcing a tight end selection, the Chiefs hammered their priorities: lines, secondary, and playmakers, trusting their existing tight end room to hold the fort. This move reflects the Chiefs' broader philosophy. They're not trying to replace Kelce with a carbon copy. Instead, they're evolving their offense to be less predictable and more versatile. Gray, Wiley, and Briningstool bring different flavors to the table, forcing defenses to rethink how they scheme against Kansas City. Beyond the tight end, other key moves. The Chiefs' draft wasn't just about what they didn't do, it's about what they did. Their focus on the trenches and secondary aligns with their identity as a team that wins at the line of scrimmage and capitalizes on opponents' mistakes. Adding a wide receiver and running back ensures Mahomes has fresh weapons to keep defenses guessing. Additionally, the Chiefs' offseason included critical roster decisions. Trent McDuffie's fifth-year option. The Chiefs secured their star cornerback for 2026 at $13.6 million. McDuffie's 2024 stats, 83.1 PFF grade, 13 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, make him a cornerstone of the defense. An extension is likely next, as Veach aims to lock him up long-term. George Karlaftis' fifth-year option. The defensive end's $15.2 million option for 2026 was a no-brainer. Karlaftis' 8 sacks in 2024 and consistent postseason impact show he's still developing into a star. 2026 draft comp pick. The Chiefs are projected to receive a 7th-round compensatory pick in 2026, adding to their arsenal. Late-round picks like Isaiah Pacheco prove Veach's ability to find gems in the draft's final rounds. The bigger picture. Dynasty continuation. The Chiefs' 2025 draft and off-season moves aren't just about this season. They're about 2026, 2027, and beyond. Veach and Reed are playing 5D chess, building a roster that can sustain success with or without Kelsey. Key elements of their strategy include depth and development. Gray, Wiley, and Briningstool represent layers of depth at tight end, ensuring the Chiefs aren't reliant on one player. Trench dominance. Investments in the offensive and defensive lines keep Mahomes protected and the defense disruptive. Cultural continuity. Mahomes' off-season workouts in Texas, Andy Reid's steady leadership, and the return of healthy starters like Nick Bolton and Trey Smith reinforce the Chiefs' championship mindset. Backup stability. Signing Gardner Minshew as QB2 adds a battle-tested veteran who can step in if needed, providing a safety net for Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, the X Factor. No discussion of the Chiefs is complete without Patrick Mahomes. Even in the offseason, Mahomes is grinding, organizing workouts with receivers, tight ends, and running backs in Texas. These voluntary sessions aren't just about reps, they're about building chemistry, refining timing, and shortening the learning curve for new additions. Andy Reid praised Mahomes' initiative, noting it's what sets him apart as the NFL's best quarterback. With Mahomes leading the charge, the Chiefs' draft picks and young players have a guiding light to follow. What's next for Chiefs Kingdom? The Chiefs' 2025 draft and off-season moves send a clear message. They don't rebuild, they reload. With Kelsey's contract expiring, 2025 could be his final ride, adding urgency to send him out with another ring. But the Chiefs aren't panicking. They're evolving, building a more balanced, sustainable offense that's harder to defend. For fans, the directive is simple. Trust the process. Veach and Reid have earned that trust, turning late-round picks and undrafted free agents into stars. The Chiefs' dynasty isn't built on one player. It's built on a culture of excellence, relentless preparation, and strategic foresight. As the 2025 season approaches, Chiefs Kingdom should stand tall, ready for another championship run.